First and foremost, when it goes praises to our power, our Shem, Yahushai, our Shem, Rakar, Kodash, the ones and to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and I'm Shalom to our brothers in Modi, pushing this word in sincerity and in truth, to them that believe, Shalom. Brother Zach from Camp James, Jamaica, Kingston, I'm back. And we just want to touch on the topic of the end of the world, you see me? We know the common concept of the end of the world, that people believe that the earth will be destroyed and we're going to have a new earth, you see me? But that's quite contrary unto the scriptures. So we just have our Lord's willing through the Spirit give a biblical explanation of what the end of the world means according to the Bible. You see me? So I'm going to start off with a shortly from Matthew 24 and 3, I believe.
This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 24, verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world?
Alright, so when he will return, you see, and when what? The end of the world. So what we're going to do right now is get actually the definition of the word world there. Because in the scriptures, it's actually three. The Bible was first written in what? Hebrew. And it was translated into Greek, and now we have then you have Latin, and now we have English. You see me? So the scripture, so we have studied to show itself or proof. You see me? You can just get a little quick over 2 Timothy 2, verse 15.
This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 15. Study to shew thyself approved unto the Most High, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly divided the word of truth.
Yes, so rightly dividing the word of truth, the word dividing go back to dissecting. Is you see, you have a break down the word, you know, see me, and skipper say here a little and there a little. Precept must be upon precept. Right, so that will basically, I don't know, is through the Spirit of God, and how much you know, shy. We got the understanding of the truth of the scriptures from our elders and apostles, yeah, right, of Great Millstone. So we have the understanding to basically bring it out back to fellow brothers and the faithful sisters that are there as well. So this is the word, the definition of the word.
G165, Ion.
And this is from the word in Matthew chapter 24, verse 3, with the word world. And that's the pronunciation, and it means say forever, an unbroken age, right? Perpetuity of time. The name of eternity is a world, universe, period of time, age. So that's what it really referring to, a period of time. And that age was referring to what? The age of the so-called white man. So I'm just going to look up the word age real quick. A brief moment of question. So this is age from Merriam-Webster. Give me. I'm going to give me a person age. We want someone basically. Alright. So we say age is a full definition, the time of life at which some particular qualification, power, or capacity arises or rest. Right, so the time from when you rise to the time when you sit here, isn't that not be age? So the age we refer to at the time period, right, is referring to the rulership of the so-called white man, because him are the last person or race who have ruled. Right, there's also go up to a period of time. Yes, I mean, so I'm going to get a question is yeah, second instance.
Alright. This is the book of 2 Esdras, chapter 6, starting at verse 7. Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first?
Yeah, because I believe, so you can get it earlier in the scripture. the angel actually tell him, saying divided the earth or the time frame in 12 parts here. Is let me see if we can get over the question. You can just continue reading that one and get this full question.
Come. So, or when shall be the end of the first?
Right, the first set of people who have ruled it, right, or the first world, right, the first ages. Right?
And the beginning of it that followed.
Right.
And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followed.
Right, so Esau is the end of the world, the end of the rulership of the world, the nation. Then. So because all of them actually get a specific time frame when they will rule. So the scripture says Jacob is the beginning of it that followed. Now what we're going to get is basically Nebuchadnezzar and King of Babylon, he actually had a dream. Is when Daniel actually had it interpreted for the king, basically got the interpretation from the Hobo Shemel, right, which basically tell you all of the kingdom will come up on the face of the earth and who are ruled next. So that's kick it off.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 29. As for thee, O king, thy thoughts came into thy mind upon thy bed, what should come to pass hereafter. And he that revealeth secrets maketh known to thee what shall come to pass. But as for me, the secret is not revealed to me for any wisdom that I have more than any living, but for their sake that shall make known the interpretation to the king, and that thou mightest know the thoughts of thy heart.
Yes, him about a dream. Is him what the dream come up by him thinking on the earth afterwards. Is him in a lot of times. Right, the Most High basically reveal it unto him in one dream. Right, but he never understand it, so he basically asks the interpretation. Right, another the soothsayers or the magicians or whatever in that time with the on the left hand side couldn't give him an answer. Is him say make a decree to basically kill the whole of them. Is him and Daniel basically heard it and he basically prayed to the Most High to get the interpretation there so they may be spared and the Most High granted. Is him if you read the story. So now Daniel basically make him know say, yo, guess what, none of them man that we have around here can interpret this. Is we can't get the answer, can't tell away a dream and then get the interpretation of. But the Most High, how about Shemel Shai, just put it out there as well. That's the true name of the Most High in the Hebrew, Yahweh, and his son's true name in the Hebrew is Yahushai. That's who gave Daniel the interpretation, right? So that's how going to.
Thou, O king, sawest and behold a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible. This image head was of fine gold, his breast and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs.
This should have a quick picture of the image. This is part of the lesson as well. That's the image that Nebuchadnezzar saw, yo. You see me? And as I can see, yo, it's a meme. It say we are the deer. Is the toes referring to the hand. You see me? That's where we are right now.
His belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay. Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet that were of iron and clay, and brake them to pieces. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces altogether, and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floors. And the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain, and filled the whole earth.
That is a dream. You see me say, I give the interpretation right now.
This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. Thou, O king, art a king of kings, for the Most High of heaven had given thee a kingdom, power, and strength, and glory. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of the heaven had he given into thine hand, and had made thee ruler over them all. Thou art his head of gold, and after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee.
So after him rule, is him have a feeble rulership, and when that kingdom come up there, which referring to the specific ages or rulership, or another definition for the word age of uninterrupted rulership is in the ages. We'll find a precept in 2 Ezra chapter 14 and verse go to the point, verse 11. It says, for the world is divided into 12 parts. Is in 12 ages. Right? He said, because that's what the word world means, and like I said, if the earth, right, divided in a 12 parts, it's a piece, that's a piece, that's a piece. No, it's referring to ages here. He said, and the 10 parts of it are gone already. Clearly showing you say you will refer to something else. Right? Ages. Right? He said, and half of the 10 part, and there remaineth that which is after the half of the 10th part. So basically they say you 10 part gone already, is it me? Is a 10 part gone already and a half. Is it saying basically have the remaining divided into 12, because that was in the time of Ezra's. Is when you know basically that was in the transition of the Persian to the Greeks. Is it me? Then we have the Roman Empire come up after that. Is it me? And right now we in the Roman Empire. Right? The second leg of the Roman Empire, which is led by Esau, Edom, the so-called white race. Is it me? But I explain it last night.
And another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron. Alright, so when you're referring to the toes, they actually go back to the 10 horns as well in the book of Revelation. It's also explained, I think, in Daniel 11 chapter. It's actually referring to today we call them the EU nations. It's originally they are 10, but I believe now they are 27 if I'm mistaken. But basically break out. Just like how you have they call it Ireland, is one left UK and them thing there. Let's break them up, break up and get them one name. But originally they are 10 nations. Or 10 kingdoms, should I say. Because really it's not a nation. Nation go back to race. One of them are Edomites. Right? We're so-called white people. Right? So when you say partly clay and partly iron strong, clay weak, referring to the big nations. Right? Pigs is an abbreviation to Portugal, Italy, I think Germany, and Spain, if I'm not mistaken, and the rest is referring to the strong nation then. Go on. For as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken.
Exactly, that's why you have Greece right now, Yeah, and it was not Germany, it was Greece. I said no, because Germany one is strong power. So it's Portugal, Italy, Greece, and Spain. Them are the big nation, them are the weak nation. That's why you have Greece and the fall upon and death with it. Britain or the UK catch the rake. Right now them are planning for left the EU because they don't want to bear the burden. France, here for France, that's what they hear upon the scene. Germany, all that is basically them can't agree. They can't come upon one state. Right, because they don't want to bear the burden of each other no more. Some weak and some strong. right? Partly broken and partly strong. Right?
And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another.
They not can agree, always. I mean, they not can be united as one. Because iron can't mix with clay literally, isn't it? Going?
Even as iron is not mixed with clay.
Exactly. Right. So Daniel, well, Nebuchadnezzar saw it in a dream. Daniel get it with the revelation from the Most High, but it's symbolic. That's why you seek an interpretation. So the interpretation actually make you know what take place now. There are some kingdom will come on earth, they not can agree, them one some are strong, some are go weak, them are try unite, but it not going to work. This is we set up here right now in front of our very eyes. That's why the minimum put up earlier, you show you say, where are we? And you show you say, without the tools. So because we leave them prophets there right now. And we are at the end, referring to the end of the world, the end of the age. Is the man of the so-called white man. Right, Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of that follow. Jacob are these so-called Negroes, Native Americans, Hispanics, Latinos. We are the true biblical Israelites, according to the Bible. Whether you want to believe it or not. You know?
And in the days of these kings shall the Most High of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever.
Exactly. So it what? It consume the kingdom, every kingdom on the face of the earth. That's why in the book of Revelation, Yahushua, when he described Yahushua, he said Kings of Kings and Lord of Lords. We can conquer every single kingdom on the face of the earth. Right? He's coming back to wage war upon these heathens, yeah? This man smite them down, and the scripture say, all knees shall bow and every tongue confess, right, that Yahweh shall is power. And he also say, he alone shall be exalted in that day. So you're not going to hear about Russia, you're not going to hear about America, you're not going to hear about NATO, you're not going to hear about the EU, you're going to hear about Yahweh shall in the nation of Israel, because of way to rule, yeah? Continue.
For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it break in pieces the irons.
Right, which is referring to what the kingdom then, right? Because you just explain it. You said these are the nether kingdom will come and so forth, right?
The brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great power had made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter.
Yeah, so what come to pass hereafter? Right? The kingdom may come after you, you see me? But at the end of the day, the kingdom will give on to the saints, which is scripture actually says, so we're going to eat. But they cannot finish it.
And the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof is sure.
Yeah, so we see, is certain how it will come to pass. And the interpretation will tell you, it will come to pass. Right, right. Scripture said the word will come out and out in our turn and team void. But to accomplish that we speak, we're on Isaiah 55 verse 11. So you can just go to Daniel 7. And I think you can start at verse. What's that verse? 17.
Alright, this is the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 17. These great beasts, which are four kings, which shall arise out of the earth.
Yeah, and 4 kings ruling one kingdom. Is it me? Right, so the Most High set up was referring to state them real quick. Referring to the first one was Nebuchadnezzar's kingdom. Is the Babylonian, and right after that you have the Medes and Persians. Is when right after that you have Greece. Is if you look, for instance, the movie Children, you show the war between the Persians and Greece. Is with Alexander the Great. Is when they take over, and then right after that you say transition to the Roman Empire. Is first it was the Kingdom of Rome, then the Roman Republic, and then the Roman Empire. And then afterwards, the scripture even in Revelation, which that means we want in a topic, where the scripture says that he was ruling unto death and then he lived. Make sure you say at one point about basically dead, rather than to come back here. Referring to when he died was within I think it's 325 AD when one like Septimus Severus and Constantine and the basically the Dark Ages here we ruled for 1,000 years, which fulfill the scriptures says Satan shall be born for 1,000 years. That's what Satan referring to the so-called white race. Right, when they get bound and they get cast onto the Carthage mountain, which fulfill Job the 30th chapter. You see me? So them grew like animal. That's why you get the word Caucasian, cave dwellers. You see me? Right, and then afterwards they come back on the scene in the 1400s and so forth. And it's the term Renaissance, rebirth. Right? So them might get rulership now for a short, that's why people say, Satan shall lose for a short season. You see me? Right? So now is that short season we are living out. That's why I look upon him and say, right, with the end. You see me? End of the world, yo. Esau is the end of the world, Jacob is the beginning of it and following. Right?
But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom.
Right, the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom, as the scriptures in Daniel, the 2nd chapter, it tells us what them it was might, right? The image is in it. So all of the kingdom when we get established, all of the nation then is in them going to get broken down, yeah. Is in it. Well, the most time they fight against them when they're right now we have Esau, right, Edom, right, on the face of the earth right now. So them basically I will try to fight against them. You see me, more fight against NATO, that's why scriptures tell us that there was war in heaven, right? Michael and his angel and Lucifer referring to Edom, the head of Esau, so-called white race. Right? Yahushua is going to come back and fight with them, with Yahushua and the angels them, and Esau and him war jets. And when I say about craft him about that, so when he's going to lose. I know I'm saying a lot today, but it's just basically trying to point to, right, make you understand what really referring to the end of the world. So because people, growing up personally, be at the end of the world, we think that there's some holy calamity on the earth and get fully destroyed and then we'll get one new earth, or we'll basically go into heaven, go sit down on cloud and shit there. No, you see me? It's actually different, right? The world is, the world will get destroyed to a certain extent. For instance, America is going to get totally destroyed, isn't but then even the land of Israel will get totally wiped out. And then we'll go on and it will basically build back. So America will not be built back. Because scriptures, I think Thanos from, when you say,
Avengers.
No, Avengers. Remember my name when it said from the ashes of the world will be a better one. So, I think kind of X-Man. How will come the X-Man again? Anyways, remember my name, but he said from the ashes of the earth will be a better one. You see me? So that is where Israel will rise up out of the ashes, so to speak. As I said, so what the saints shall take the kingdom. The saints are actually Israelites. Psalms the 48th chapter down to the second to last verse tell you that, you see me? That them are the children of Israel. Come on.
And possess the kingdom forever.
Yes, so that was possesses forever, right? Referring to the rulership of the earth.
Even forever and ever. Then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which was diverse from all the others, exceeding dreadful, whose teeth were of iron, and his nails of brass.
Oh yeah, Apocalypse is in X-Men.
Okay.
Everything they build will fall. Which, what on? What is Scripture saying in Malachi chapter, can you hold that real quick in Malachi chapter 1 verse 4. It's straight into the point. Right, so that's that's an Apocalypse quote from the movie X-Men. It's in Apocalypse, it says everything they build will fall, and from the ashes of the world we will build a better one.
This is the book of Malachi chapter 1 verse 4. Whereas Edom said,
Edom is the so-called white race.
We are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
Yeah, so at one point when they get cast out, yeah, it's when they go up in the mountain, them Caucasus Mount, it's me as beasts. But them say what? Them will return and what? Build the desolate places.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down.
Current to the point, they will build, but the most I throw down, we want to throw down with him son Yahushua.
And they shall call them the border of wickedness.
Exactly.
And the people against whom the Lord had indignation forever.
Yeah, so everything they build will fall. Right? It's just pull it up, we could see quote. Let's continue now.
Alright, back in the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 19. Then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which was diverse from all the others, exceeding dreadful, whose teeth were of iron.
Right, and a big reason why it was actually diverse from all the other kingdom, for instance, kingdom of Babylon, it was basically a king, you see me, like Nebuchadnezzar, and then his son, you see me. Then, for instance, when the Medes and Persians take over, you have Darius, you have Xerxes, 1, 2, Darius, and you have Cyrus, and then people, he was head by a king. You see me, Alexander, when he took over the Greek, he was a king, you see me, right? But when the Romans took over, with them have Senate. Is and then the only time when they have like a king was basically during when they become an empire, when you have the Caesars. But nevertheless, they still had what Senate, yeah? Is basically get the end of the year. That's why in America you have there was a Senate. Really. So that's a show you basically clear to the point, you know, show you the same system, same beast or same empire basically ruling. But that was the point I wanted to bring across.
Continue. Yeah. And his nails of brass, which devoured, break in pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet, and of the 10 horns that were in his head.
Alright, the 10 horns is referring back to the two of them, you see, that Nebuchadnezzar saw in his dream. One.
And of the other, which came up, and before whom the tree fell.
Alright, the one that came up is referring to America, you see me? Right, the three who fell basically, you know, you have the war that take place in America, you have the French, and the Spanish, and the British, you see me? So they basically fell before America, right?
Even of that horn that had eyes, and the mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. And
so they show that right now, Trump. Show that clear. Him had the biggest body stink on the face of the earth of him, man. More stout than his fellows. That's why he can land sanctions from the EU. Right, his fellows, because him and them supposed to be in the league.
I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints, and prevailed against them.
Yeah, we were in slavery in Americas.
Until the ancient of days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High. And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. Yes,
so the time came when the saints have possessed the kingdom. And that's what we're waiting for. The scripture says, here's the patience and the faith of the saints. Right.
Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth.
Basically the last age. The last world. Right? East is the end of the world, Jacob is the beginning of it, that follow. And the end of the rulership, them where the earth get divided into. Right?
Which shall be diverse from all the kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth.
Yeah.
And shall tread it down, and break it in pieces. And the 10 horns out of his kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first. And he shall subdue 3 kings. Yeah, when we say the 3 kings and when subdue, he referring to America. Right? It's 3 kings that when subdue as a state. Who prevailed from the Spanish American War, the French American War, the British American War. America prevailed. That's why they get independence. You see me? And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time.
Yeah, the specific amount of time set for basically rule, right? From basically American standpoint there. And he said think to change times and law, and you can recognize you is the legalized power.